That's not a truck. No manly man is gonna drive that truck. This here ain't built tough. So listen, forget what you might have already heard about this vehicle behind me, which is definitely a truck. A pickup truck is officially defined as a vehicle with an enclosed cabin, an open area for cargo with low sides, and a tailgate. So check, 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 and check. So this is definitely a pickup truck, and I'm here to tell you that it's actually really good, and it's gonna make a ton of sense for a lot of drivers out there.
For more expert car reviews, don't forget to share our channel and subscribe so you can catch some of this and maybe even a little of that.
So there's a couple of things you gotta know about this truck right off the bat. The very first thing is that it's actually built on a crossover SUV platform, not a traditional body-on-frame platform like an F-150 or something like that. So it's not gonna have that type of outright capability, but still, this is rated to tow 5,000 pounds and it comes standard with all-wheel drive. And so most people are never going to tow with their trucks, but even so, that 5,000 pounds is enough to put a couple of jet skis back there, a fishing boat, a couple of dirt bikes. The list goes on because 5,000 pounds is a lot. So this truck is powered by a 2.5-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. It has 281 horsepower and 311 pound-feet of torque, and it gets all that power to all 4 wheels through a double-clutch 8-speed automatic transmission. So that is more than enough power. You know, you can get up to highway speeds and pass people with no drama at all. It does sound a little bit harsh when you're hammering on the throttle or when you're climbing a hill, but in most situations it feels very strong. And the transmission is normally pretty good, although sometimes at low speeds it can act a little bit choppy, but normally it's great at knowing where it should be and what you need. So the other thing you need to know is that this is a small truck. Like, it's even smaller than a Toyota Tacoma, and I'm going to show you what it looks like next to our videographer Will's 1500 just so you can see the size difference. So some people are going to look at this truck's small size as a negative, but I actually think it's a huge bonus because its size is exactly what helps it drive so nicely. You know, it pretty much drives and handles like any other regular crossover out there. So you get none of the crazy bucking around you get over rough roads like you would in a traditional truck. And it's amazingly easy to drive around the city. This truck is nimble and responsive, and the body doesn't move around too much when you're taking it through corners, and it also doesn't require you to start braking like a block early like half tons do. Parking it is also super easy. Parallel parking it is a dream. And big trucks don't even fit in my garage at home, and this Santa Cruz fits everywhere, and that's part of the reason why I like it so much. You know, I drive half tons a lot, and every time I have to go into the city I get a little bit nervous because there's a whole bunch of places I know it won't fit. I don't get that problem at all with the Santa Cruz. The other big bonus to its small size is fuel economy. So I've been driving it around 300 kilometers now and clocking in at around 11.3 liters per 100 kilometers. And that's in predominantly city driving, so it's definitely doable to drop that number if you do a bit more highway. So it's also rated to get 10.6 liters per 100 kilometers combined, which by 4-cylinder SUV standards isn't great, but by truck standards, that's amazing. I also really want to mention how much I like the Santa Cruz's style. I just think it looks so cool, and I especially love the headlights and this cool color. And the other really interesting thing is that so many people have stopped me this week to talk about it and to ask questions about it. They all said the same thing. They all said, I love the way it looks, I love the color, and I think it is so cool to see a small truck again that looks so different from what anyone else is doing right now. So inside, there's not a whole bunch of trucky stuff in here. Like, there is a hill descent control mode, but there's no tow mode or trailer mode or anything like that. But let's take a look outside. I really want to show you all the cool features back there that make the Santa Cruz so versatile. So I want to take you through some of the features back here that make the Santa Cruz so versatile. And the first thing is that this tailgate is damped, so it doesn't just slam down when you open it, which is great. I also really love this retractable and locking tonneau cover, which comes standard and is actually rated to hold 220 pounds on top. So back here, there's about 764 liters of room for stuff, which isn't a whole lot, but it also has this really great underfloor storage area that's watertight and also drainable. So you can put a bunch of ice in it and use it like a cooler if you want, or just toss some muddy gear in there and hose it down later, which is awesome. I also really love the sidewall storage that hides an electrical outlet. And of course, there's lights and tie downs. Also, this strap to pull back the cover is fantastic. I also really like these integrated bumper steps. And then there's one more thing inside that I wanted to show you. It's that these seats can actually flip up to reveal more hidden storage. And this bin can also be removed if you want, if you needed room for taller items. Inside, I think Hyundai really nailed it with this interior. Like, I love this leather. This textile trim is also great. And even that graphic on the dashboard and the contrasting stitching in the seats helps give it a lot of personality, which I love. I also really like the simplicity of using this old school T-shaped gear selector. And I really like that they didn't use buttons or knobs for this because it's so much more user-friendly that way. So in general, the infotainment is really easy to use and the menus make a lot of sense, so you never have to dig around too much to find what you're looking for. But I know this is going to drive a lot of you nuts. Most of these controls are done through touch-sensitive buttons. That means there's no volume knob, no knob for fan speed or temperature, and I really just prefer having analog buttons in a lot of these cases because it's easier to use when your eyes are supposed to be on the road. There's also a lot of hard black plastic used here, and I don't like that Android Auto and Apple CarPlay isn't wireless in these higher trims, and that there's a big dead zone, so it just feels like a waste of space. So let's talk pricing now, which starts at about 40 grand. The base preferred trim comes with a pretty decent list of stuff like heated seats, a heated steering wheel, and a smaller touchscreen with wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. It also comes standard with a ton of really great active safety features. Moving up to the Trend trim gets leather seats, a sunroof, adaptive cruise control with stop and go capability, this really great digital instrument cluster, and a bigger touchscreen. But it loses the wireless compatibility for smartphone mirroring, which is really dumb because then you can't use it with the wireless phone charger it comes with. Finally, the ultimate trim I'm driving here is about 47 grand, and it adds in built-in navigation, ventilated seats, steering assistance for the adaptive cruise control, blind spot cameras, and the 360 top-down parking camera, which are two of my favorite features. So I think with taxes and fees all in, 50 grand might seem like a bit much to pay for a truck like this, but it comes with a ton of really great features that really helps it feel worth it. To recap, I love the Santa Cruz's versatility, its style, and its excellent driving dynamics and ease of use. I don't quite like the price, the lack of physical buttons, or that Android Auto and Apple CarPlay isn't wireless on most trims and doesn't take up the whole screen. I can see this little truck being a big hit with outdoorsy people, so if you like snowboarding, mountain biking, hiking, camping, whatever, just being able to toss your dirty gear back there and not have to worry about getting the interior messy is a huge plus. I love the Santa Cruz's versatility and the fact that it drives pretty much like any normal crossover and that it fits everywhere. So as long as you can get past that price, this is a really impressive little truck, and if you're at all outdoorsy, you should definitely check it out.